Hi, I'm Nathan Jones, and this is Martin Archery's Wild Extremes. It's the start of turkey season out in Missouri, and as you guys will see on today's show, Brian certainly has the turkeys roaming around at High Point. And for you whitetail freaks, don't give up on me. As you guys know, I truly love whitetail deer, especially the whitetail deer with those great big things on their heads. The latter portion of today's show will deal with some great deer we had encounters with, but sorry to say, didn't get a ride in the truck on the way home. But you know, the big ones are never easy. And maybe that's what captures our imagination and makes all of us whitetail freaks sacrifice what we do just to be out there in hopes for that one great encounter. I'm glad you're all here to go hunting with me today. This is Martin Archery's Wild Extremes. Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. With your host, Nathan Jones. And also brought to you in part by these other great companies: the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club, Grim Reaper Broadheads, and Carbon Tech Arrows.
We've had a lot of action. My God, I love this.
Martin, creating the world's most accurate bows for 50 years. The Jaguar, under $300. The Dreamcatcher, exotic hardwoods with unmatched performance. The Razor X, a high-performance bow used by pros. The Savannah, handmade by Boyers with 40 years experience. With steel speed bearings and machine cams, Coreflex limbs, and mossy oak camo. Patented VEM technology, solid 7 alignment systems, and double helix strings. Martin, the world's most accurate bow.
This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. About the time the Mayapples poke their little heads out of the leaf litter, you'll find me with my Martin bow in hand and my double bull slung over my shoulder, participating in the chess match we call turkey hunting. I call it a chess match because most of the time it's not just do a setup, call, and shoot. I know that it can happen like that, and when it does, it's awesome. But more than likely, you'll have to really work at it to be successful. It seems most of the time I set up, find out what my opponent is going to do, and then have to make another move to counter. That's where my double bull comes into play. On this hunt, we weren't going to have to make a second move. We were at the High Point Hunt Club in Missouri hunting with Brian Guffey, and the turkeys were in the mood today. Well, sort of. We had a couple great gobblers in front of us who at first were just interested in teaching some manners to several obstinate jakes and showing off for the girls. But the morning was young. We had plenty of time.
This is cool. Turkeys everywhere.
We had hens between us and the gobblers, so I knew unless the hens moved closer, there would be no shot. Sure, we had decoys out, But as they say, there is nothing like the real thing. I sent some soft, muted clucks their way, hoping just to keep the interest alive. Maybe I could pique the interest of the other longbeard.
He's been at 40 yards, at 50. Now he's about 60. But he keeps looking over here. He keeps hitting the calls.
Almost without warning, here came the gobbler that had finished in second place with the girls this morning. This gobbler was within just yards of our double bull. It was now time to draw the slayer.
Yes. I'll tell you what, these double bull blinds are the ticket. We had this bird in front of us. He got around to the side here. Brian couldn't get on him. We were able to actually open the window here and stick the camera out. I was able to get over and put a good hit on him. And he just, those Grim Reapers are tough on these birds. And I hit him a little bit back, but he just walked around that deal. And I think we'll give him a little bit of time, but we got us a good turkey right here at High Point, Missouri. Man, I am jazzed. This is awesome. But guys, here's the evidence of a good hit on that turkey. We've got those Grim Reapers tear him up. We've got a solid blood trail. I hit the turkey and he just walked around the corner like you guys saw. And here's some feathers from him. And I think we just followed this up there. I don't think that bird's going to be that far.
What a hunt this had been. When you hunt hard and you hunt a lot, there are definitely those days with little to no activity. So I'll gladly accept a morning like this. When you're going head-to-head with wild animals in their environment, you are on their timetable. Today, I had been fortunate enough to play the game and come out the winner, all the time knowing there would be other days we would struggle. Today, I was blessed.
This beard on this bird. That guy was packing. What a beautiful bird right here. Guys, and I have to thank Brian Guffey here at High Point for putting me on a great bird here. It was a phenomenal hunt. We were in the blind. It starts getting daylight, and you guys heard those birds. And this is actually, we called this bird in probably from 300 or 400 yards away. We had one bird, he was less than 100 yards. And this bird come in with 4 jakes and some hens and whatnot. Then that older bird run over and run him off. He went back in the brush, and we sat there, I don't know, maybe another hour or so, and he come back out and come right in, gave him some clucks and purrs and whatnot, and come right into those decoys. And so this is my first bird here at High Point with Brian, and I am proud of this bird.
Now for you whitetail freaks, thanks for being patient. I think the wait will have been worth it. You are going to go hunting some great whitetails with me, and I hope these hunts help you all feel better about the hunts you have been on where the deer finish the winner. I have found whitetails to be one of the hardest animals to take with a bow, and through the years they have taught me some hard lessons. Lessons that have made me a better hunter.
This is the Indiana muzzleloader season. I'm here with just my Slayer, but we're still going to put one down. Stick with us. We got deer all the way around us right here, and it's just getting down.
Here is proof that there are still some great bucks left in the woods after gun season. It always amazes me how bucks like this get by, even in states that have extended gun seasons right through the middle of the rut. I guess that's why I love whitetails so much. They are total masters of survival, and in my opinion, even an old mama doe is a true trophy. My brother Tracy had an encounter with this particular deer on the second day of the Indiana archery season, an encounter that led him to shooting this buck. However, the shot was high in the zone, commonly referred to as the nowhere zone. We spent considerable time tracking the deer until there was absolutely nothing left to go on. And then, you wonder, did we overlook some seemingly insignificant sign? Did the deer die and disappear forever? But 2 months later, fully recovered, here was the same tremendous deer calmly feeding with a smaller buck at just over 100 yards. I threw everything I had at the huge buck to try to get him back down the hill and under our tree. The problem being, we were at eye level with the bucks and were on the backside of the shotgun season and in the middle of the muzzleloader season. These guys were definitely not unpressured deer. Whitetail bucks crave heavy cover during the daylight hours, especially a buck like this. And as the sun slid slowly over the treetops, I knew this encounter would soon be over. The buck would either come back down the hill or would continue upward toward a bedding area where he would spend the rest of the day. I was running out of time in a hurry. The monster whitetail chose the latter, but then again, they seem to make the right choices the majority of the time.
Is a monster. He's only 18 inches wide, but he's friggin' got 15-inch or 14-inch tines. Guys. Guys, what do you think about that brood? My brother Tracy was in here early season and hit that buck, and he hit him high, and we tracked him for 2 days, finally lost him. And this sucks for Tracy because he didn't get the deer, but then it's cool to be able to see that deer again and know he made it. That didn't sound good. That's why that deer went.
New from Double Bull Blinds, the Matrix 360 with patented surround sight technology. The only blind offering 360-degree customized viewing. And features like silent slide window adjustment, 7-second setup, and no shine, no flap fabric. The Double Bull Matrix 360. See without being seen.
This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. This hunt occurred in the Midwest on the first week in November. This is what happens when you manage your property to produce a great buck-to-doe ratio. When the first doe comes into heat, all hell breaks loose. You have bucks show up that you didn't even know existed, and you learn that the biggest rack buck is not always the dominant buck. Remember, it's not the size of the dog, it's the size of the fight in the dog. The monster 6-point showed up and took over. The hot doe had crossed the ditch and now stood just 60 yards from my tree. And at this point it did cross my mind that this hunt could come together in my favor. The huge buck was absolutely adamant that he was crossing the ditch to get to the doe. This is why you should never put them on the wall before you put them in the truck. Just as it seemed that the huge 6-pointer was on a collision course with my tree, a small yearling buck ran from the brush and pushed the doe back across the ditch, taking my buck with them. Even if I don't get to pull my Martin Slayer back on a good one, I always count it as a blessing just to see deer in the wild like this. This had been a day I will never forget.
Well, as you can see, we've moved our location. My motto is move to the movement. We're still in the property and actually right in the area where as you guys saw that big 6 chasing around in that 8-pointer, they're living right in here. So what we did, we waited, we got the wind right, we come around the backside, moved in on them. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. So, possibly we could have a little bit of a wait on them, but right now it's, the 19th of November. The bucks, if they don't have a doe, they're cruising, and that could happen any time. So, you guys really need to have a lot of patience this time of year. Stick it out. And I really think something's going to happen tonight, so let's all hang in there. Let's see a good one come through here.
It was just after midday, but this was the rut and anything can happen during this period at any time of the day. It was looking like all of my hard work was about to pay off. We had hunted hard day after day for several weeks in a row, driving countless miles, going without sleep, hanging dozens of stands, and hoping for that one great encounter. And here it, or rather, he came. But even the best laid plans can go awry. Please don't do what I did on this hunt, and you'll be able to sleep at night. In the midst of all the hustle and bustle, I had to replace my string loop, but didn't take the proper amount of time to get back in sync with the new equipment change. As you will see, here came one lucky buck that was going to turn me into one sick whitetail hunter for several weeks to come. That's right underneath him. The buck won this round, but there would be a rematch, as you will see later this season on Martin Archery's Wild Extremes.
That is a mess. Well, there's our 8-pointer. What a great encounter. And he's right on a dome. And so this time of year, that's why it's really difficult to call a buck. And you just gotta hope you get lucky like this. Like that, I should say.
I want to thank Brian Guffey for inviting me out and having me hunt with him at the High Point Hunt Club. Brian, thank you for a great bird. To hunt with Brian at the High Point Hunt Club, just call him at the number we ran during the show, or if you missed that, just go to the website, wildextremes.tv. I also hope that you guys found the whitetail encounters a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys gleaned something that will make you a better hunter, that will help you bring one of these big boys home. Next week, I'm in Wyoming chasing antelope. We hunt hard, and we've got tons of encounters for you. I'm glad you were along today. This has been Martin Archery's Wild Extremes. Martin Archery's Wild Extremes has been brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. And also in part by these other great companies. Grim Reaper Broadheads, Carbon Tech Arrows, and the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club. Additional products have been provided by these companies.
Man, Charlie, buddy, we got us a monster.
This has been a Wild Serenade production.